Rain asked a question.
Okay.
She wants to hear your take on the recent passing of Sharath, because on Chinese social media, we've read a lot of pessimistic reviews and comments on Ashtanga.
Uh-huh. Well, but okay, all right. Well, for one, to me, I mean, people can make their own choice, but I think it's not, certainly not automatic that Sharath dying at 53 years old has anything to do with like Ashtanga being bad for you. Like that is not an automatic connection I would make at all.
我认为我们没有办法说，掌门人53岁去世就意味着阿斯汤加是一个不好的练习，这之间的逻辑是不成立的，不是天然存在的。
So, I mean, every single one of us has our own date with Yama, the god of death.
我们每个人在亚玛在死的神那里都有固定期限。
Okay, and not a single one of us is fully in control of when that date comes.
没有一个人能够完全掌控这个期限。
Despite what we would like to think.
尽管我们希望能够掌控。
Okay, and so, right? Not a single one of us. Do you know when you're going to die? Do you know how many years you have here?
有谁知道我们还剩下多少年的寿命吗？没有人知道。
And you think just because you do yoga that automatically means that you should have a long life?
你难道认为你做瑜伽就意味着你可以活得很久吗？
No.
不是。
That's just not the way life works.
那人生不是这样规划的。
And to focus on that is, I don't know, to me just very strange. I don't go to that place. I don't go to that place.
对我来说，我认为这种 what's strange?
To go to like think this Ashtanga yoga teacher died young, and so Ashtanga is bad. It's like, what?
阿斯汤加的老师去世了，所以阿斯汤加是不好的，这个是很奇怪的一个逻辑。
That's, I mean, yeah, it's just, this is not, there's so many other aspects to it that are much more valuable and compelling to me.
阿斯汤加练习中有很多的元素，对我来说是非常有说服力的，非常有效的。
But like I said, if everybody's different, and if that scares you or makes you question the practice that you're doing, then that's, I mean, it's I don't. That's your right or your idea. I mean, I don't. It doesn't. It just doesn't do that to me. I don't have that response in myself. Like I not at all. I'm just. It doesn't make me go, wow, Ashtanga. That like Ashtanga caused Sharath's death. That's just like no.
那每个人是不一样的。如果看到这条新闻，有人的解读是阿斯汤加是不好的，那他当然有权利这样做。但对我来说，我完全不会建立这样的反应。他去世了，所以阿斯汤加是不好的，这个是我觉得是不成立的。
So I'll tell you a little bit about some things that I think about, though, with it.
那我想分享一下我对这件事其他的看法。
Well, one is what I said, is that none of us knows when we are going to go.
首先，就我刚才说的，没有人知道自己的寿命期限。
And so this makes life should make you very appreciative of your life, very wanting to make the most and the best out of the life that you have, the time that you have.
所以我们应当非常感恩生命，在我们有生之年，我们一定要尽可能的充分的活。
And in terms of you personally,
那对个人来讲，
but also the people you love,
也是对你所爱的人，
because you never know when they might die too.
因为你也不知道他们何时会离开你。
And then the things that you love
还
too.
有你所热爱的东西也是这样。
So, like with Ashtanga, to me it actually brings in a immediate reaction it brings fear, like Sharath dying, about Ashtanga dying.
那Sharath 去世可能立刻会激发一种本能的恐惧，就是阿斯汤加是不是也大限已至？
Yeah, like that. He held this very right in the center of the lineage place.
因为 Sharath 是位于阿斯汤加传承的核心。
And now it's gone.
现在核心不存在了。
And so, but after that initial fear,
在这最初的恐惧之后，
then I remember a couple of things.
让我想到了几点。
So one is that there's many strong teachers.
首先有非常多的很优秀的老师，
I call them lineage holders.
我把他们叫做这个传承的保护者。
Okay, so Ashtanga will not die.
阿斯汤加不会死去，
And so that practice will go on.
练习一定会继续下去的。
And that's good.
那这是好事。
But then but then also it makes it that, like what I was saying to Yikong about the structure and like the importance of having that structure so that it can be passed on.
但另一方面，就像我刚才提到的哈，就是我们也要坚守这个结构、这种体系，把它传承下去。
And it's not an easy equation.
这不是一个很简单的一个可以做到的事情。
Because you already know that I disagreed with how a significant portion of how Sharath approached the practice, and he was, there's a whole bunch of people that do it that way, right?
你们可能也知道，我对于 Sharath 教学的很多内容是不赞同的，而有很多人是按照他的方式在教学。
And so I use props, and I do all these modifications, and all these things that we're learning.
比如说，我会用很多辅具，用很多变体啊，我们学到的所有这些内容。
And I feel that these are really important and valuable, but I still like that it comes from this basic structure that I don't want to lose track of by widening it out.
但我的这些内容仍然是扎根在阿斯汤加的体系和传统中的，我不想稀释它的重要性。
And so, it's a real dance.
所以这是一个很微妙的，像舞蹈一样。
But you understand that, you see, that I have the exact opposite reaction to what you're telling me is on the Chinese social media.
你刚才说网络上有一些悲观的声音啊，但是我的感觉恰好相反。
Okay, so for me, instead of going, oh, I have less faith in Ashtanga now, and I'm not sure about that practice, and
我不会去想我现在对阿斯汤加信心动摇了，我可能要减少练习。
I go, oh, now I have a bigger responsibility now to uphold that lineage and pass it on to other people.
那我的反应是，现在我的责任更重大了，我一定要将这个传承去延续下去。
Like it makes me like care about it more.
我更在乎这个练习了。
And realize that I've got to step up.
并且意识到我要更加积极主动。
And I hope that that's the reaction you have.
我也希望这是你们的反应。
Because you understand that it is up to each person to value that system and then practice it and share it.
因为我们每个人都有选择，我们都有责任，去看到这个练习的价值，然后呢，坚持练习，分享这个练习。
And in his own way, Sharath was a beautiful sharer of the lineage.
所以 Sharath 他是这个传承的一个非常优秀的分享者。
And we lost him.
但我们失去了他。
And so now we've got to take up the slack.
所以现在我们要弥补这一损失。
And one last thing I want to say about this. It's about yoga in general.
最后我想谈的是关于瑜伽这个整体的一个话题。
There's all kinds of unrealistic beliefs or ideas that are perpetrated about yoga.
人们对于瑜伽施予了许多不切实际的信念。
And one is that it makes you live long.
其中之一就是它会让你活得更久。
It might make you live long, but it might not.
这是有可能的，但并不总是这样。
And because you do yoga and then you don't live long,
而如果你做瑜伽，但你又没有活得很久，
that doesn't mean you did yoga wrong
不意味着你练习瑜伽是错误的，
necessarily.
并不一定是这样。
And then also, because you did yoga and then you lived long,
而你练习瑜伽，你确实活得很久呢，
that doesn't necessarily mean you did good yoga.
也不意味着你的瑜伽练习是很好的或者很正确的。
And so yoga, and people have ideas about happiness, like that when you do yoga, you're not supposed to get angry.
人们还觉得你练习瑜伽，你就不应当生气，
You're not supposed to be sad.
你不应当悲伤。
You're not supposed to react.
你不应当起反应，
You don't have any ego.
你没有小我，
All of these things are bunk.
所有这些都是瞎扯。
Okay? That isn't... Yoga is to make you more human, more loving.
让我们，瑜伽让我们变得更有人的这个
It's
人性，让我们变得更有爱心。
See, understand, there's actually only one superpower that yoga gives.
瑜伽只有一种
Okay?
超能力，
One.
一种，
And that is the strength and the courage to care about the invisible spiritual dimension of life.
就是让我们开始关注到生命中那不可触摸的灵性的层面，给予我们力量和勇气去接触这一层面。
So you understand, for a person in this world to devote themselves to a spiritual practice, like make it a big part of their life,
我们活在这个世界上，如果把追求灵性作为一个生命中的大主题，
this is hard to do.
这是很难做到的。
Look at the world.
看我们周遭，
Everything's oriented towards materialism.
几乎一切都是以物质为导向的。
Okay, but the yogi
但瑜伽士
says, no, that stuff's not as important. It's over here what's important. Way over here.
瑜伽士说不，那里不重要，我们应当把注意力投向这里。
And you understand how much strength and courage that takes.
那这需要多么大的力量和勇气？
And you understand that it's a burden.
这是一种重，
It's a weight.
这是一个重担。
And for some people, that weight,
这种重量，
it'll send you to an early grave.
对有些人来说，这个重担呢，会让他们过早的离世。
It doesn't mean you were bad or wrong.
但不意味着你做错了。
No, it means you accepted something one of the deepest challenge that a human being can accept.
这意味着你勇于接受一个人可以接受的最大的挑战。
Okay, so your measure of your success as a yogi is not about how long you live, how strong you are, how flexible you are.
一个瑜伽士，他的成功与否不在于他活得多久，他身体有多强壮，有多灵活，
Or even how happy you are.
甚至他有多快乐。
There's something more important than those things. And it has to do with soul and like deep love and caring for what's really the pith of life.
有一些比我刚才说到的这些都重要的多，它涉及到灵魂，涉及到我们最深爱的，涉及到生命的核心。
Okay, one other thing I want to tell you, real quick,
还有一
before
件事，我很快的说一下。
in a certain way, like, I said, we don't get to choose our death.
我刚刚说过，我没有办法选择死亡。
But there's I don't know if you know this author in China, Carlos Castaneda.
有一个作家 Carlos Castaneda，
You guys know him?
大家有听说过吗？
Do you know him, Leah?
What's his work?
He was well, he was an anthropologist, and
他是一个人类学家。
he wrote all these books about this shaman, this that he learned from, he met and he learned from in Mexico.
他写了他的书呢，是记载了他在墨西哥遇到的很多 shaman， 就是那个南美的巫师。
And so Carlos Castaneda, he was the everyday guy. He was like the ordinary person.
那么他本来就是一个平常人。
And Don Juan was the guy's name, that his teacher.
他的老师叫 Don Juan。
And he was the sage, the master.
他是这个圣徒，他是一个圣人，是一个大师。
And Don Juan was always like a kind of doing stupid things and not understanding and missing the point and.
Don Juan 这个人，他总是做一些蠢事，什么事情都弄不好。
No, did I say Don Juan? I meant Carlos Castaneda, the author, not Don Juan.
不是 Don Juan，是 Carlos 这个人类学
Yeah.
家。他总是做蠢事。
And so Don Juan, he was an Indian guy, and his friends would just like laugh at how stupid Carlos Castaneda was, like the dumb things that he did and everything.
Don Juan 和他的朋友经常嘲笑 Carlos 做的这些蠢事。
But Don Juan, he was patient and he taught him.
但是 Don Juan 很有耐心教他。
And so one time they always met way out in the desert.
他们总是在沙漠里相会。
And so one time he had Don Juan told Carlos Castaneda to meet him in the middle of a city.
有一次 Don Juan 告诉 Carlos 在城市中心见面。
And they went to this park.
他们到公园。
And there was a man dying in the park.
公园里有一个垂死的人。
And Carlos Castaneda, he thought it was like really tragic and sad.
Carlos 想，哎呀，这个太悲伤了。
And then Don Juan, like, he showed Carlos Castaneda the scene from his perspective.
然后 Don Juan 向这个 Carlos 分享了他所看到的视角。
And he made him look at the light. It was like the time of day and the light. It was super beautiful.
他让这个 Carlos 看那天那个时刻中的那个光是非常美的。
And there was like everything, the whole scene, the trees and the park and the setting.
这幅图像中除了光，还有树木，
And then
还有公园。
The man was surrounded by his friends and his family.
这个人呢，他的亲朋好友围绕着他。
And he basically told Carlos Castaneda that this man was actually had orchestrated his death, and it was everything about it was perfect for him.
Don Juan 告诉 Carlos， 你看到的这个垂死的人，其实他是亲手安排了这样的死亡场景，这一切对他来说都是完美的。
And Sharath, he died like out in nature, surrounded by his students.
那 Sharath 去世的时候，他是在这个山里面，在大自然里，周围都是他的学生。
So, right? Of course it's sad and hard.
当然，这令人伤心。
And I wish he was alive.
我希望他还活着。
But he lived a good life.
但是他这一生也过得
He
很
was
精
a
彩。
very loving person.
他是个富有爱心的人。
And he died surrounded by by what he was passionate about.
在他生命最后时刻呢，周围都是他所热爱的人和事。